Merry Christmas, y'all. How is everybody doing? I know I'm not really great at putting out a video all the time. To the handful of people who watch this, thank you. You're kind, you're beautiful, and you're a wonderful human being. God bless you. Let me take my chin diaper off. Everything sucks. Merry Christmas. I never thought I'd be in a place like this right now in my life. It's hard to have hope when everything just feels just so empty. You know, I was driving home from work last night and I just thought to myself, I just feel so empty on the inside. I just feel so numb. And I just started to cry. I was driving on the 5 freeway and I just could not stop myself from crying. And I've been feeling that way for days now, just wanting to cry because I just feel so numb from everything. It's hard enough just to get through the days anymore. Going outside is difficult because so many people, it's the mental and emotional toll of going outside, dealing with people. And then on top of that, all the high prices of everything. Oh my God, it's insane. I find myself becoming more and more recluse as much as possible, detached from people as much as humanly possible. I can't help it. It's just become my only way of an emotional survival because trying to figure out other people at this point is just next to impossible. Having any kind of a real conversation with anybody, let alone family members, about the real problems of this country, forget it. We don't really, as a nation, ever come to terms with any of our problems. We just leave them to boil in the background while we continue to do the same things we've always done. But we're coming to a head in this country because we can't keep literally doing what we've been doing forever. And I see that more so every single day. We can't afford to live like this. Ecologically, we can't. You can't live on a society that says you can consume as much as possible for eternity on a planet with finite resources. I go to places now and I have to just straight up ask, what do you even have available right now? Which, not their problem, like the people at these stores or restaurants or whatever, but, you know, sometimes they just don't have a lot of things in stock anymore. But going back to what I was saying about how people in public places behave now, it's insane. You walk in a place and it's like eggshells. I went up to some lady who was working at a 7-Eleven in my neighborhood and I said, "What country am I in right now?" And she shook her head and was like, "Yeah." The funniest thing she told me was that back in the 60s, California used to get commended for their friendly drivers. Isn't that the biggest joke in the world? California and their friendly drivers. Please. Had to go to a family function sort of. Have a relative who has some pretty right-leaning views. He's a Trump supporter. I can't talk to people like that anymore. There used to be a point in time where I could talk to somebody who, even if I never even liked their politics, I could understand the reasons why. There's no point. And I don't even think anybody wants to listen to each other anymore. Nobody wants to talk to one another. We're just screaming at each other. And it's become so mentally and emotionally fucking exhausting. It's like we've all just sort of collectively said, we've just accepted whatever's to come is to come. I know I'm rambling, but there's just so much that's happened that it's hard to process it all. And then on top of all of this, just trying to get through the daily grind of life. It's difficult. It's really difficult. And I know this time of year isn't exactly the easiest. You're reminded of family members and relatives from the past. This certainly isn't the same kind of holidays I used to have as a kid. I really feel so sorry for younger people who have to go through this right now. It's not fair to them. It's hard not to just look at younger people anymore and say to yourself, you really don't have anything of like a future. Or at the very least, your future is going to be our future. Your future is going to be very different from your parents or grandparents. I find myself just growing so distant from so many people, especially even my own family. I don't really know my cousins that well, honestly. I know some of that is my fault because I haven't really made a point to really reach out. You try to, but the daily grind of life just keeps you at bay. People can't live like this forever. It's too much. You can't keep punishing working class people forever. This system, something's gonna change. And I don't know what it is, but we can't keep living like this forever. Economically, ecologically. I mean, I see it and I feel it in the faces of other people I come in contact with every single day. People are just tired of everything. A government that doesn't work, an economy that is just fucking always on a lifeline. The cost of living is just insane. It's almost $5 a gallon for gas where I live. It's insane. This can't keep up forever. I've straight up seen people, homeless people, just walk into the middle of the street. Something's gotta give. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.